Welcome to a little tour of North Kolkata. It has been exactly 10 years since the first time we traveled to North Kolkata to start looking into the places, the history around yoga from this area. And so to celebrate 10 years, we wanted to revisit some of these places and talk a little bit about our favorite memories, the history, the things we've learned, the things that have changed during this period. So we thought the best place to start is the place.
The first time we came with Jerome Armstrong. We land at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. We get in a taxi. It's obviously pitch black out. We had never been to Calcutta before. And we made the taxi driver come here first before we went to our hotel. When you come to the alley and you turn and you see the masthead, you see the gate that says Ghosh's College of Physical Education, Ghosh's Yoga College. This is still something to this day that I will never forget.
This is the men's yoga room today.
Yeah, you see the red floor?
Yep, exactly. This is Bishnu Ghosh's yoga room. This is called Grandfather's Room. And it's full of so much history, so many important figures in the Ghosh lineage. Of course, Bishnu Ghosh standing right behind us in this picture. Vishwanath Ghosh, his son. Above him we have Yogananda. And then so many students that came from this college. There's Buddha Bose, Bikram Chowdhury, just so many little morsels of history from this room. Vishwanath Ghosh, Ghosh's son, was a very avid photographer. And so you get to see the whole spectrum of what yoga was in the 20th century. All of the aspects, from bodybuilding to contortion to hatha yoga to asana to pranayama, everything in between.
Here in the men's room are a lot more pictures of bodybuilders, obviously men with big muscles flexing their muscles. But there's not really any yoga asana here in the men's room. But if you go over to the women's room, which has the distinctive green floor these days, up you look around in the women's room and it is full of pictures of yoga asana. Women doing yoga asana.
Women and also men. This is where you see
true.
Dr. Prem Sundar Das, Dibya Das. These are really important figures of Calcutta yoga history. But yeah, exactly. You see the asana much more in the women's room. This institution is still very much alive today. There are hundreds of students that come to practice. We were just learning that there are, how many teachers did they say?
60.
60 teachers at this college today. So it's very much alive, and it's celebrating now, 102 years of thriving yoga in North Kolkata.
It's in a very specific part of North Calcutta, and within just a couple block radius, you have Vivekananda's house. We have the house where Vishnu and Yogananda grew up when they were here in Calcutta. You have Nilmoni Das's gym. You have Reba Rokit's school. This was 100 or 50 years ago, and the world was a much more contained place. And so we really want to walk around the neighborhood a little bit, both because we love it here and we always are afraid that it will change a lot. So we want to go walk down the streets and the alleys again and take you with us a little bit.
So we're going to take you to some of the places that are not on the maps and also not really recorded by the history books to that significant of a degree. There's also Vivekananda's home here. There's Tagore's home. There's the Marble Palace. There are places that are more recorded in history, but the places we'll go to are not the ones you would probably read about or find on a map, but these ones are really important for yoga, and probably the yoga that you practice today. This whole block used to be essentially for the family, and so you have Ghosh's college now on one side and Yogananda's home now on the other side. But at one point this was all kind of a connected block. Now there's a big sort of high-rise going in right next door in between the two. I kind of want an apartment in that high-rise, but We've been watching it go up for the last
For a long time.
8 years or something. But we'll take you to the other side so you can see Yogananda's childhood home as well.
And there used to be an alleyway that connected the front of the college through back to the other street, and we'll go try to find that.
We'll see if it
but
still connects
we'll
the
see if
two.
it's still there.
Okay, so we've made it through the alleyway. I was impressed you remembered how to do that. I didn't.
So this is Yogananda and Vishnu's house.
Childhood home.
Where they grew up when they lived in Calcutta. A lot of Yogananda's followers will come here and get tours of
We just saw a small group of them actually.
the house. There are stories of Yogananda and Vishnu like jumping out of the second and third story windows to go on their adventures.
Yeah.
But as you followed us through the alleyway, you see that we're just one block over, but we kind of went back through the in between. But so you see how close their childhood home is from where Ghosh's college is now.
I would say this is one of the locations that people go to in Calcutta, like because it's a little bit more museum-y, or it has a feel of being a really important part of Yogananda's history for sure. So it's a really cool place to be.
Yeah, and
This is very typical North Calcutta horns.
This house plays a big role in the stories of Yogananda. In Autobiography of a Yogi, he has a lot of stories that are based here.
All right, so we've been to Ghosh's college and their childhood home, Yogananda's childhood home. Now we're going to go maybe into some more like places you might not have ever heard of, but are actually really important to the history of yoga, and they're all in this neighborhood. Okay, here is Iron Man Publishing House. Moni Das was a contemporary of Vishnu Ghosh. I wrote about him a little bit in the article I did, Yoga in Bengal. He's a really, really important figure because in North Calcutta, he's extremely well known even today, to some degree more than Vishnu Ghosh is. He wrote a lot of books and like charts or posters about yoga practice, and his institution is still being run by his son, and so it's also like Ghosh's college, like alive today and in action today. But Moni Das, he got his nickname Iron Man partially because this is the iron district of Calcutta, but also because he was a big bodybuilder and strong man, and who would bend the iron rods. That was a big stunt, and so he got the name the Iron Man, the nickname. But yeah, established in 1933, so a little bit after Ghosh's college. But this is one that you wouldn't really come across.
Another bodybuilder, strongman, pioneer of yoga here in North Calcutta.
This is one of the first places we went when we arrived in Calcutta. I think it was the very first day.
We came from that direction,
Yeah.
and the smallness of the alley was a surprise.
Was a surprise, but yeah, this is a overlooked gem of North Calcutta. So we're at Peary Charan Girls' School, which is one of the oldest girls' schools that is here in North Kolkata and really in the world. And we're here with the principal of Peary Charan, and she was extremely helpful when I was working on the Strong Woman Reba Rokit, and helped to find actually an incredible piece of history where Reba's name was first entered into the register book at the school.
Thank you, Ida. It's my pleasure. She got admitted on the 7th of February 1944.
7th of February 1944.
In this school, in Peary Charan Girls High School. Date of birth that is mentioned in the register is January 1934 of Anima.
January 1934.
Yes. And she was 10 years old 1 month when she
came here.
She came here and got admitted.
It's amazing to have these records
Yeah.
after so many years, and thanks to you for flipping each page to find her name.
Yeah. I when you told me that, I couldn't imagine that it will be possible for me to find it out, and
Exactly.
and I'm very happy that you have got that.
Yes, me too. It gave so much history to her, so we knew when and where and what class
Yeah.
and who signed for her. It's actually a lot of information.
Yeah. And then I think from there you could now you could rectify year of birth or something.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I first came here a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I think the first time I came, you were not here.
Yeah.
So I had to come back, and actually I made a special trip back to India when I was finishing the book to try to speak with you and to try to look at the register. And that was really nice to finally meet you in person and make the connection for Reba's history and her education. Yeah, and she's one of an important, I think, figure that came out of this school, but I'm sure there are many important figures who have come from this school. But I had not been to this school before working on the Reba Rokit project. But then I saw mentioned that this is where she went to school, so I tried to come and see it.
Yeah. That's really amazing. I couldn't imagine that a lady from the USA has coming to Kolkata and coming to my school, and she's letting me know about a student of whom I didn't know actually. It's very amazing. It was very amazing for me. That I have also written somewhere that it
exactly,
and so many people had read it, and it's gone viral.
Oh, that's so exciting. You mentioned also last time, now you've named one class after her or something like that.
Yeah, so houses are there, school houses are formed with some students and teachers. That is, one house has been named after Anima Reba Rokit. We must know that our Padma Shri recipient, our
yes, that's
students,
very
so we
sweet.
have named after. It's our dedication.
Thank you for letting us visit, and yeah, it looks so beautiful.
Thank you, Vida. You have done a miraculous job, and I think Reba's alma mater is ever grateful to you.
Thank you. Well, your help has
on
been
behalf of all the staff, and I just
thank you. Very sweet.
I express my wholehearted.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Please.
There's something inexplicable about this place. Even though we are here and we are talking about it, there is a feeling to it. There is a sound of it. There is a smell of it. There is the space of it that you can only get by walking around, by seeing the light, by just being a part of this neighborhood.
We want to make these videos and take you into these places just a little bit because we have such fond memories of being here, and we hope that it continues to be a part of our lives. But the videos can't quite ever, of course, capture the experience of being here. What's interesting about this place that is so firmly rooted in time and in history is like, what does the future hold? And this is a question that comes up with yoga practitioners, yoga scholars, all the time. Like, where is yoga going? And I think it's interesting to be in a place that tells us where yoga has been. But these questions of where yoga is going, this is an ever-changing discussion. And I think it's being shaped by everyone all the time. But it is interesting to think about the future, especially in a place that's so rooted to the past.
And it's a good reminder that we are always making history, so to speak. We can't know what the future will bring, but the way that the future is created is by taking one step today, taking one step tomorrow, and just going through our practices and going through just like living today. And that's what, like, it's being here is still meaningful because yes, we are creating it every day. And like you say, being here gives us that little link to the past, almost like we have one foot in the past, even though we don't have a foot in the past. We are constantly here. We are reminded of where we come from, even though we are still making it new every day.
Absolutely.